We say the things that aren't always said out loud. And this is a safe space. Let me ask y'all something. Let's get right into it. Are we addicted to love? As lesbians, as queer people, are we addicted to love? What do y'all think? Because I know in our community, there's this big joke about Uhaul culture. You know, there's a whole thing, Uhaul lesbians. You know, we wear it as a badge of honor. We wear it as a badge of pride that we U-Haul within months of knowing the person. So is that a problem? Like, is that a bad thing, y'all think? Is that something that we need to address in our community? Moving in after 2 weeks. Like, when you know, we say that often, right? We say that often, when you know. But what's underneath that? Like, is there something we need to investigate? I am 44 years old. Yes, grandpa. Put grandpa in the chat. That's me all day. I'm 44. I'm gonna be 45 this year, actually. I have one marriage under my belt, but I know a lot of people my age who are on their second, third, fourth, fifth marriage. I don't get that as much with the straight people that I encounter. But with lesbians, like, it's nothing to be 32 and you are marriage number 3. So, you know, it got me to thinking, what's that about? What's that about? Are we addicted to love? Are we addicted to being in relationships? Are we addicted to being chosen? So that's what I want to talk about tonight. But this conversation comes from... Damn, you fine to be in your 40s. What's your number? Because I'm going to need to call you on the days when I feel like, when I wake up not feeling the best. Like today, when I told you, I was like, bad hair day, bad skin day. This topic, it stems from a conversation that I saw on Instagram last week. This creator, her name is Kanye. I think that's how you say it. I really wanted to have her on, and she agreed to be here. She is, I want to say she's a motivational speaker. I feel like she's given a TED talk or two. She holds retreats. She does the whole 9 yards. She's pretty dope. But again, she lives in South Africa, so I think it's like maybe 4 a.m. there right now. So I couldn't really ask her to be here, although I really wanted to talk to her because what she talked about on her page, like really, and I'm gonna drop her probably in the recap. I will shout her out so y'all can check out her page. She said she was talking to her therapist, and she had gotten out of a long-term relationship. I think it was about 8 years, and she was already reconnecting with somebody else. She had just gotten out of an 8-year relationship. She was already reconnected with someone else. And her therapist point blank asked her, are you addicted to love? Do you think? Why are you already getting connected with someone else? Like you know, and she was like, even if I were addicted to love, is that a bad thing? Why is being addicted to love a bad thing? Like, I mean, love feels good, right? Love feels safe. Love feels like connection. Love feels like home. But when you're addicted to love, you might rush into it. You might prioritize the feeling of love over everything else that love is supposed to be. You might ignore the red flags when you're addicted to love. So I think looking back on it now, she says she thinks she wasn't necessarily addicted to love. She was addicted to being chosen, or maybe both. I think you could be addicted to both, being in love, being chosen. Being chosen is about validation. It's about self-worth. It's about needing someone to confirm that you actually matter, right? I think ultimately they both come from not loving yourself enough. And so that's the root of what I want to get into tonight. It could be lust too. Absolutely. I mean, because for the majority, I'm going to assume that the majority of us in here are lesbians, or I'm non-binary myself. But if you love a woman, golly, we know how good women look. Wow. So it could be lust. That's a great point, Miss Pretty Brown Skin. I'm not gonna lie. What Kanye said, it stuck. I hope I'm not butchering her name, but it stuck with me because of course, I'm always thinking about my own patterns. I am on a healing journey. I've been on a healing journey. And I know that I have stayed in places way too long because I was chasing validation, not because this person is the love of my life. There were so many times when I've been in relationships when I knew this person was not it, but I wanted them to love me. I wanted to feel chosen by them. Can any of y'all relate to that? And I realized for me, I wasn't addicted to love necessarily. I was just addicted to being chosen. And what I'm learning now is what it looks like to choose me first. I've been single for a little over 6 months now, and I'm really trying to practice loving myself, choosing myself, what it feels like to talk to myself the way that I talk to women, talk to myself the way that I treat myself the way that I treat women, romance myself the way that I romance these women. It makes me emotional to think about it because I've poured so much love into so many women. And have I poured that same amount of love into myself? And like I said, it's been 6 months in. And usually this is the time where I'm like, all right, been single for 6 whole months. Let me get out there in the streets. Anybody want me? What's up? Anybody want me? I'm ready. I'm ready to get back out there. What's good? What I missed while I was gone? But I'm really trying to resist that notion this time. I'm really trying to. There was actually somebody in here. She might be my moderator, who told me at the beginning of my breakup. She said, "You need to be single for at least 6 months. No dating, no talking to anybody, none of that." And I was like, 6 months? That seems like a lifetime. And now it's been past 6 months, and I'm like, I still don't think I'm ready because have I really tapped into that love that I want to feel for myself? I don't think I'm there yet. I'm getting close, but I'm not quite there yet. So yeah, I'm just encouraging myself to give it time. And like I said, love myself in the same way that I've loved other people. This sounds familiar. Thank you for that. Thank you for being such a good friend. I really appreciate you, and I want to say that in front of everybody because you see me on my worst days. So I appreciate you. So talk to me. How long have y'all actually been single? So when we had the celibacy conversation, I talked to a lot of y'all who have been celibate and single for like 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and my mind was blown. I was blown away. So now I want to talk to people on the other side of that. Be honest. Let's be honest. This is a safe space in here. This is a safe space. If you are someone who goes from relationship to relationship to relationship, if you've been single literal 2 months and then you back in the streets, I want to hear from you. I want to talk to you. Please shout, come on, put it in the chat. Let me see you. What's the shortest time that you've been between relationships? If I have to think about it, I would say for me, maybe 5 years is okay. Wait. Because I see some responses in the chat. Are we talking about 5 years? You've been single for 5 years or 5 years between relationships? I've been single from 2022. Okay, we got some serial single people in here. Am I an anomaly in this? I used to want that elastic capacity. I've never been able to do it. Yeah, you've never been able to get back into the streets real quick after you've been after a breakup. Left my marriage of 8 years and jumped into another 7-year relationship in less than 1 month. Ooh. Wow, you said less than 1 month? 1 month, my God, that's okay. All right, Britt. Yikes. Okay, I might need to bring you up here to talk to me. What's that about? What's that about? Let's talk for a little bit because I have some guests that I'm bringing up later. But Britt, if you don't mind coming up and saying what's up to me, Let's talk about that because that's wild. I need to release the juju and learn the lesson. Yeah, yeah, man, a
Yo, what's
thousand
good
percent.
with it, Birdie?
All right, I'm sorry. Let me turn this back up. What's up? What's up, Britt?
What's up? What's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Thinking about love as usual.
Yeah, I know that, man.
Yeah, how you been?
It's all good. It's all good. I'm over here doing homework as always, educating this mind of mine. But
You're doing
I saw you
homework.
online. I had to come and pop in real quick.
I appreciate you, and especially because what you just said blew my mind. You said that you were in a relationship for 8 years,
hmm
and then what happened?
So I was in a relationship for 8 years. Just kind of, I guess, cliff notes. I was 17. No, I was
Hmm.
18. I met a woman that was 11 years older than me. She had a kid already. Um, she was still living with her kid. I mean, the father of her kid. They were still doing their thing, but me being me at the time, young as hell, masculine as hell, wanting love so bad, just okay, I'll go with anything. I'll go with anything. The marriage and the relationship was tumultuous. We had another kid in the relationship, and it just didn't go well. The marriage was toxic. It was bad. One day I woke up and it was like, you know what, this is done. I left, and instead of taking time for myself after all of that time, especially that young, I did what I felt in my mind was best was to get over, you get under. So I got under, and under turned into 7 years later.
Wow.
So I'm not really one to like jump from small relationships like that because definitely a lover girl. So I long term that thing. But at the same time, there's a caveat to that where you want to be in something long term, but is it really something you want to be in long term, or you just don't know how to be able to leave a situation because you're a people pleaser?
Right.
And that's what
Exactly.
it became for me. You know, it definitely became a I realized that I was sticking around in things because I didn't know how to leave. I didn't know how to let people know that, I'm in a different place now. The guilt of it all was just a lot. So, you know, just jumping from one thing to the next was really about clinging to something that made me feel seen, made me feel loved, made me feel enough and valued. Not realizing that that didn't do anything because everything that I needed for myself was already within me, you know? So it was just a
Well,
learning process.
we could end the show now because you just summed it all up right there. No,
You
so
know what I'm saying?
you said that you were 17 at the time, so you were mad young.
Mad young, mad
Okay,
young.
how old are you now?
I am 32.
You're 32. Okay. So when you got into that relationship, I mean, do you feel like you fell in love with this person really quickly?
Yes, I
Was it
did.
a
I
good
did
relationship?
fall.
Okay.
And what I realized, hindsight, especially now that I'm in school for psychology and I understand things a little bit better. At the time, it might have been love at first, but it was really a love that was based in what's the word I'm looking for? Attachment.
Attachment.
It was really rooted in toxic attachment from the things that I was needing from my childhood, not really based in actual genuine connection of wanting love and the things like that. I was wanting somebody to come in, give me everything I felt like I didn't get as a kid, love me, build me up, and then, we'll be all good, you know. But you learn you really have to go through some things to really learn. And I had to really go through a lot of different things to learn that, okay, Brittany, you have to choose yourself. Everything that you need, you already got it. You already got it. You already got it.
You already got it, but how long did it take you to learn that lesson? Because again, I'm
My whole
almost
20s, bro. My whole
yeah.
20s. Not a lie to you. When I say my whole 20s, I don't mean that lightly, guys. I literally feel like I say it to myself all the time. I feel like I literally spent my entire 20s looking for everything that was I already had. I was looking for love. I was looking for validation. I was looking for
Yeah.
attention, looking for just somebody to tell me that I'm beautiful. All the things. And it took me literally 12 years from 17, well, 18, because I had just turned 18. So 18 to 30, the whole decade. I watch friends, I watch people go and do things and all kind of stuff. Um, And then there I was in a long-term relationship, you
Yeah.
know.
Someone asked, did y'all trauma bond? Because that's the whole
Um,
thing.
The first one, I don't think the first one was based in trauma bond. I think the first one was based in just attachment, just toxic attachment of just literally wanting something. I think, when you have mother issues, and I date older women. So I like older women just based on the mindset. But what I realized in psychology and in therapy that my liking for older women is also deeply rooted in the mother issues that I have from my mom. So at the time I was running away from things with my mom, but running towards everything I wanted from her. But instead of me getting it from her, I was getting it from another older woman.
Yes.
So it was a lot. It really was a lot. Now that I look back at it in hindsight, I don't know if I had an 18-year-old child and she told me she was talking to somebody that was 29, we might have to, we might have to have a conversation
So,
because what
yeah.
are you doing?
Sabumi said, I love how you mentioned things from your childhood. I love that too, because, I think, especially with masculine presenting people, we sometimes have a lot of issues with our moms. I
Hmm.
can speak on that. My mom just left. She was here for 3 weeks. I just put her back on a plane. And I spending more time with her. And as I'm in my healing era, I realized just how many relationships I was chasing, like the affection that I wanted from her, the
Exactly.
validation that I wanted from her.
Validate, yes.
And
Same for
that
my
like
mom.
that's blown my mind recently.
And
It's
it's
been
the
interesting.
craziest thing that people don't realize that relationships, the whole point of this existence, relationships is where we learn. It's where we get all the things that we need. So if you go through something in your childhood, specifically a lot of us, because our childhood is where we get all of our developmental, the foundational things, the things that we go through in our foundation show up in the relationships in our adulthood. So if you're dating a certain type of people, if you really analyze said person, said people you're talking to, you 9 times out of 10 can literally relate it back to something that you were missing from your childhood, you know? And that's why it's so important to heal and pour into you,
Ooh,
you know, because
man.
you go looking for everything that you already have with other people. And sometimes you have to go through that. That's the whole purpose of the journey in life, that you really got to go through those hard lessons so you can be prepared for the blessings that's on the other side. And that's how I've had to look at it. It's like there's so much to be thankful for right now. I'm thriving the best way I've ever thrived. I'm happy the
Ooh,
best way I've ever been happy. But it took me to go through some really tough shit. A whole decade of finding myself, depression, suicidal thoughts, and all kind of different things. But here I
I gotta
am.
let go of the mustache. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna an example. I'm gonna shoot out there from my relationship with my mom that I saw come to light in my last relationship. So I would tell her all the time, like you don't you don't really compliment me. You don't really tell me that you think that I look nice tonight. We're on a date, obviously, like I'm showering you with compliments all day, all night, but you don't really reciprocate that. And she would tell me, well, damn, you're egotistical, you're a
Yeah.
Leo, you love yourself, you're so into yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, damn, maybe I am, right? But then
Yeah.
I thought about it and I was like, no, that comes from growing up as masculine presenting, and I have a mom who's very feminine, extremely feminine, the beauty queen type mom, and she struggled with my masculinity. And
Right.
so her answer to that was, I'm not gonna compliment you. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
tell you you look nice when we're going on. I'm gonna tell everybody else in the house, but I'm not gonna tell you because that's encouraging
Yep.
this thing that I don't like. And so in that relationship, when she wouldn't give me that simple to me
The
validation,
validation. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't understand why that hurt so much.
It
And
hurt
now,
because
now I know.
it's your mom. I
Mhm.
had the same issue. That's why my whole childhood I just felt on top of being bullied really bad, but the lack of emotional capacity I felt like my mom didn't give to me, because she was a provider, she did what she did, right? But the emotional part she did not do, and I think that a lot of it had to do with because I was masculine. She wanted me to be girly. Every boy that came around, oh, you gonna go with him, you gonna go with him. And it never was, oh, you look beautiful today, or you look nice today. And to be honest, it wasn't even just back then. It still is today, right? Where I feel like I don't get those compliments. I don't get those certain things from my mom because truthfully, I don't even know if she knows how to be able to show up the way that she would want to for me
Yeah.
and give me the validation of the validating things I need. So I've had to meet my mom where she is, you know? I can't make her change, and I realize that she does think I'm beautiful. She does think that I dress nice. She does like everything, but it takes her a lot out of her to be like, "You look nice today, Brittany." Like I haven't ever heard my mom say that to me. I've never heard her say that. I've never heard her say, other than when I go to prom and I had on a dress.
Right.
That was those compliments came running, right? When I had on that dress for prom, when I had my nails and them heels on. But the moment I put my basketball shorts on and I'm back masculine, it nothing. So
Yeah.
everything that I was looking for, everything that I didn't have from my mom, I spent my entire 20s looking for it, getting it, trying to figure it out. And got in therapy, started going to school and realized, damn, Brittany, you just let a whole decade go by and everything that you needed. It was right here. It
But
was
it,
right
but
here.
but it's never too late. Like I told you,
It's never.
I'm 44 and I'm still I'm just waking up to this. I'm like, why didn't I see this before? But
Hmm.
you get it when you get it.
Yeah.
What's up, Coco Blue? Thank you for coming up.
Oh,
Hi,
I
how are you guys tonight?
doing all
doing
right. How are
well.
you?
How are you?
I'm doing okay. So, when I said you was late, I looked at my time here, and it's 10 o'clock. Well, it's
Okay,
10:33 now. Are we on different time zones or
we
something? 'Cause I
are.
was
We
like,
are. I'm on Central. Where are
you're
you at?
late. You said no. I'm Eastern. It's 10:34 over here. So that's why
Now,
I
now you
said you were
know.
late,
Now you
and
know.
I didn't realize. I'm sorry,
It's okay. So you
but
told me you told me you've been addicted to love.
well, for me, it was a little different because I kind of thought that this discussion was going to be a little different. Mm, I'm not addicted to love in the sense of that's what I want. I want real love. I truly want to be with that particular person where we both reciprocate and have the same thing going on within that space of love.
Okay.
I'd been in a 10-year relationship. Prior to me meeting her, I was single for 5 years because I was okay being by myself. I think it was a very informative time for me to get to know myself, know what I liked, what I didn't, just what I wanted in a partner. I felt like it was important to be able to say, hey, when I go into the next circumstance, this person will understand me and I'll understand them. A lot of times we move too fast. When we move fast, then it all dissipates, right? So
Hmm.
why would you rush
Okay.
anything? And that was just where I was coming from. So my addiction to love is more so like wanting to be with that person. Because after that 10-year relationship, it was like, okay, so what do we do now? Because we both left the circumstance, and I felt like I just wasted some of my better years with this person because now, I'm 10 years older. What the hell do I do now? I thought this was my forever person. I thought we were going to get married. I thought that was going to be it. And still looking forward to that person that would be my forever. It's not addicted to love in a sense of like, oh, I got to be loved by somebody. Somebody's got to come in. I don't care what it looks like because that's a scary thing. You get anything and you never know what could happen in the end of that. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
just,
definitely. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. And I completely connect with you on that. I was in a very long term relationship too. And when that ended, I was like, well, who am I? You
Yes.
kind of have to reinvent yourself. You have to learn so many things over again. Because without that person, it's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So I completely understand
And
that.
that's the thing. I want to make sure that within this single time that I am learning how to maneuver around that actual principality of being able to get to know somebody be in their energy without losing who I am, without forgetting who Brittany is. I want to be able to exist with somebody, love somebody, and I can still maintain my autonomy. I can
Yeah.
still stand in my own, and they can stand in their own, but the love is just as passionate, it's just as explosive. And that right there is something that I've absolutely thought about multiple times because both of my long-term relationships, I couldn't even recognize myself while in it, but even while looking back after it, it's like, damn, Brittany, like it's you can't even think about it. Like you can't fathom the person that you were. It's like, damn, that's crazy. But that's the version that I was, and now I'm growing, and that's what we do. We grow. The point of relationships is to learn, to figure it out. And I definitely will make sure moving forward, my next relationship, marriage, whatever, that I want to show up, and I'm not saying that I want to be 100%, right? Because there's no such thing to me as 100% or perfection, but I want to be able to have the boundaries set where I can always maintain me at all times, you know?
100%. And what's crazy is that I don't know if I've ever gotten into a relationship and I've not lost myself.
Same,
Mm,
I don't know if
same,
I've ever done that. And
ever.
mm.
that's scary as hell to admit as someone who's 44 years old. And so I need to do a
Absolutely.
lot of things differently. A lot of things differently.
Yeah. Yep. And it takes a lot of vulnerability to say that out loud, bro. So I really commend you for,
Man, I might
talking
cry.
about it. But the thing people got to realize is a lot of people are not in relationships that, they show up as themselves. A lot of people put on masks and do different things to be able to be loved and seen and understood, which we all go through that. But then
Yeah.
you get
I
to a
think
point where you get tired of doing it.
I think a lot of times, especially with lesbian relationships and woman on woman relationships, we rush. We move pretty fast
We do.
and don't really consider, anything outside of, okay, well, I'm feeling this person, they feeling me. You said something earlier about Aaron said something earlier about moving in after a few weeks and all this other stuff. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, there is no way because the world we live in today, I could not see myself, just not being logical about the situation and saying, hey, I really don't know this person. I mean, I might
Hmm.
have eyes for you. I might be infatuated. I might be feeling all of these feelings. But who to say you're not a mass murderer? Who's to say that, you're
Right.
not some crazy person?
Well,
It's just all kind of things that we tend to not pay attention to, especially with women, because we're so emotional. So that is one of the things that's kind of scary for me, especially with dating another woman. Is like, we are so emotional and we're so quick to express ourselves and we're thinking, oh, okay, I'm all in and let's do this. And then next thing you know, 6 months, 9 months later, you're married. And then a year and a half, it starts to, that honeymoon
Dissipate.
phase starts to wear
Yeah,
off. And then you start getting
absolutely.
sick of each other. But my thing was this in my 10-year relationship, knowing that relationships, no matter who you with, it goes in cycles. You're gonna love each other. You're gonna love each other so much you can't stand it. You're gonna
Hmm.
start not liking each other. You're gonna argue all the time. Then it's, those, if you are around a person long enough, there's these phases. And if you can love each other through that, to me, that's real love.
Yeah.
If you can keep on going and letting love stand the test of time, and okay, this person cheated. Why did they cheat on me? Let's explore that. Let's see what's going on. I mean, I wanted to do therapy, counseling, whatever we could do to try to fix it because I love this person so much. And I'm not saying I was all perfect in this situation. It was just that I was like, how can we repair this? Because I've been with you for 10 years. I know that I love you. I know I want to be in this relationship with you. So how do we continue to work on it? Because I think that after you've been with each other for so long, at some point it's maintaining
yep.
what you found when you first met them. You know
Oh,
what I
Yes.
mean? And
Relationship is
growing and
maintaining. That's
growing.
exactly what
Yeah.
you're doing.
And
In order
growing.
to
Hmm.
endure, in order to grow, you have to maintain, just like a plant.
Hmm.
When you get a plant, in order to keep the plant growing, you have to maintain it. You have to go through all the different things that happen with said plant for it to grow. And I definitely agree with everything that you said.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome up, Imani. I want to talk to you. We're gonna go into another section in a minute, but another segment. What's up, the goddess? I heard that you gotta get out of here, so you wanted to say something real quick.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm in a meeting, so I'm like, I can't type my thoughts quick enough, and I think in a different language.
Okay, thank you for coming in while you're in your meeting. I appreciate that.
No, of course, I love these type of dialogues and conversations. So, I went, I was listening. I feel like I've learned so many people are committed to the idea of finding love, and that rush comes from wanting to commit to the idea. Like, I love that we can have love here, but you as a person is foreign to me. And I'm not interested in taking my time and getting to know you. Because it's like, whether it's trauma or not, there's like a fear of earning love. So if it comes quickly, then it means I'm more valuable in this scenario, right? So if I get it immediately and you throw it at me, then it means we're like, it's healthy. It's beautiful. Like you chose me without getting to know me. But what it does is you have the feeling, but not the infrastructure in which the feeling lives in.
Yes, absolutely. That foundation that they got to sit in.
Yep.
Yes, the soil where the roots got to plant in. Yes, there you
Yeah.
And it's
go.
like if we actually do feel this like amazing connection to each other, and that is not about time, right? Let's trust it that it will stand the test of time. Let's trust it to walk into it together and not feel like we have to collapse into its dynamic. And I think most people also associate like intimacy and togetherness as like an abandonment of individuality. Like we have to become one. We have to become a catalyst and we have to move as in one motion. But in the process of becoming one, you do have to lose something to create two halves of an entire individual.
Hmm.
And that's not sustainable because no one has the capacity to be consistently what you need all the time.
All the time. Nobody.
So
Wow.
you built a thing that's going to collapse on itself. Like you cannot be my whole world. You are one of the biggest parts of my world. And I think like interdependence is a concept we need to learn a little bit more how to integrate into and how to be able to build a relationship where you come as you are, I come as I am, we fix what needs to be fixed, and we build a relationship that's not built on an unhealthy urgency.
So first of all, goddess, where were you like 2, 3 relationships ago when I needed I needed to hear that so badly.
She be
Yeah,
speaking.
But thank you for sharing that now. That
yeah,
is so it's so real. It's so real. We don't have to abandon ourselves in love. We shouldn't abandon
We
ourselves,
should not. We should not.
you know? Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
of course. It's a really difficult lesson for us to learn, I think, when you're loving out of trauma. Like I say, my first relationship was I needed a father who stayed, and that person needed someone who was gentle, a mother that was gentle. So we parented each other out of trauma. So that relationship existed in a vacuum
Yes.
for us to also tell each other that we can have a relationship. You know what I mean? Like and that is really difficult to comprehend. So it's like you don't need to abandon who you are for my sake. I came because of who you are. I came because of your ecosystem. I came because of the works that you had built by yourself. Why would you collapse that and assume that that means you like me more?
Hmm.
You become less of yourself for the sake of proving that you are for me.
Yes. And
And
that,
that
that goes
doesn't,
against exactly what I came here for.
I
You
came
know?
because of you, all of you, you
Hmm.
know?
So
And
there you
now
go.
we are this thing, this one thing, which is in some ways is beautiful, right? But in a lot of ways, it's not healthy, right?
At all. At all.
Wow. Oh, Imani, you left? Okay, I'll come back. Okay, okay. All right. So listen, I want to keep it going. I'm gonna, Goddess, thank you for coming up. I'm gonna like drop you guys down for a minute because we got a lot to talk about.
All
If you
right.
don't
Let's do it.
mind. All right, cool. Enjoy your meeting. Thank you for being here. Um, Anomaly, if you could fix that for me, please. So first, before I go into the rest of the show, real quick, if you have been rocking with Unbuttoned, I just want to let y'all know there are so many ways to support the show. If you go to the links in my bio on my link tree, you will see that. And for the first time, we actually have a dedicated playlist for tonight's show. So there's so many exciting things coming up with Unbuttoned. I'm so happy and so excited to share them with y'all. I've been working like crazy, but I believe in this space, and I thank y'all for being here, and I thank y'all for the support. So check those out when you get a chance. All right, cool. So back to the conversation. But here's where it gets interesting. All right. So in preparation for the show tonight, someone sent me a thread from Threads. I'm not on Threads. Y'all on Threads? I'm on too many things. I can't keep up. But anyway, someone sent me a thread, and it was talking about, it was asking lesbians who moved in together too quickly, or who, okay, let me rephrase that, who moved in together quickly, how it turned out. Okay. The responses messed me all the way up. Okay. Because they were talking about after 2 months of dating, they're married, they bought a house together. Okay. Somebody said after 3 months, they moved states to be with each other. And that now they're married with kids. And these are all people who are now in long-term relationships. Okay. This is when we talk about the Uhaul culture in lesbian relationships. This is what we're talking about. These are prime examples. And there were so many people who responded to this thread. Somebody said 3 days after meeting, they moved in together. They're still together. This is a decade later, and they got kids, right? Somebody said they moved in after a month, and now it's a decade later, and they have twins. I mean, after hearing some of those stories, a month sounds like forever at this point. That sounds, I mean, but here's the last one that I'm going to share. This is the one. This person said after the first date, she spent the night and she never left. Okay. This is now, I want to say 8 or 9 years later, and they are still together. They are still happy. I just feel like throwing my shoe at that one. What do you mean you did not leave after the first date? What do you mean you spent the night after the first? She said after the first date, the woman wouldn't let her leave. So it must have been damn good. It must have been so chef's kiss. She did not let her leave, and they've been together ever since. Now, that sounds a little wild to me, okay? But clearly, something about it worked, right? So we talk about, are we attaching too fast? Are we addicted to love? Are we addicted to, connection? But if these people have experienced this like instant connection and they're still together, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Now, we don't actually know how those relationships are on a day-to-day basis. I don't consider longevity an indicator that your relationship is successful, because we all know relationships. I'm sure we all have people in our family who've been married for 4 and 5 decades, and they don't even like each other. They don't even talk to each other. So it doesn't mean that necessarily these relationships are happy, but according to everybody on this thread, everybody who participated in this thread, they are together, they are happy, and it took them literally days to connect with each other. But in the case of some of the people that I talked about, who I know who've been together for 4 and 5 decades, society was different then, right? Divorce wasn't as common. Divorce wasn't as acceptable. So a lot of people stayed together for, financial reasons, for the church, for, their mama. So they didn't, put a stain on the family, for the kids. But now, it's so easy to just divorce really quickly. So yeah, I'm going down a rabbit hole, but I'm curious about that. There must be something to when you know, right? So I have some guests coming up tonight who actually I want to speak to regarding this. I don't know if they're here yet. So if you are here, if you are in the chat, please let me know. What's up, Queen of Tumblers? Thank you for coming in. Do you know if your friends are here? Because I need to get them up. I have so much I want to say. Hi. Yeah, I mean, y'all know anybody like that in our community who've been together for days, like a month, and they still together? They stood the test of time? Because wow. This woman said she never left after the first date. Like, what was in the pasta that they had on their date? Like, all right, okay, yeah, I should have sent I messaged them, but I don't know. Yeah, where you been? Where you been, Quinn Tumblers? You late? You late for real? They literally are on next, so I need to talk to them. But what do y'all think about that, man? Like, I I do have friends who have gotten together really quickly, and I've heard the same thing. We hear that over and over. When you know, you know. Let's see. Somebody was requesting to come up, but okay. When you know, you know. But is that sustainable in the long run? I gotta process the data. At least give me 24 hours for real. Like, you are a literal stranger. What do you mean? You are a stranger. Stranger danger. Like, what? I haven't even committed to the my new pizza place in my neighborhood. I don't think I could commit to them after 2 months. What do you mean after 2 months y'all have twins? What? What is that about? Like, I am blown away. I, I'm literally blown away. Wow. Um, so let's see. She said she was working. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Um, all right, Imani. Thank you for coming back while we wait for my next guest to come up, because they have a story that I think is going to blow you guys away. And I literally, I'm just going to shut up and let them talk. I can't wait to hear from them. I often wonder what type of life they led prior to no job, no family, no friends, no life. Ooh, that's actually a really good point. And then they met this person and they're like, okay, now this person can be my life, right? They can be everything I've always wanted. Thank you for sharing the live. What's up, Imani?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good, stranger.
I know. I know.
I wanted to say, I don't think that necessarily anyone is doing anything wrong because people have met that fast and stayed together for that long. One of my exes, we got together after 2 weeks. And we were friends for 13 years. So we thought that 2-week window was enough time for us to like establish wanting to be together. And that was one of the worst relationships I've ever been in. So I think it can go either way.
Yeah.
You can't really ever say like, oh, this is what this connection is going to be, or this is what that relationship is going to be. Like you mentioned a little while ago, it's like you kind of, when you know. And there's no way to ever know until you are in that moment with that person, I feel like, in my opinion. But I do think that love at first sight does exist. I do believe in it.
Yeah.
I have to say.
I believe in it too. I am a hopeless romantic. I believe that it's a thing. And people often say, well, that it's a lust thing. Okay, how can you love someone at first sight? I do believe there's something about souls reconnecting.
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever experienced love at first sight?
No, I have not.
But you believe in it. That's beautiful.
But I believe in it, yeah. I talk to people a lot, and I have for years, and I've met all different kinds of people, older people, and obviously old love is a little different, but I've seen people they've met in a diner or a cafe and spoken for hours. And just after that one day, that person knew that was their person, and they ended up being together for 40 to 50 years, children and grandchildren down the line. And that kind of love is, I'm like, I need that. But I mean, I feel like we live in times right now where with social media and stuff, it makes it a little harder. I think that's why everyone always says if you have a good one, keep her. Because it really is hard to find that kind of love nowadays.
Yeah, I actually have experienced love at first sight, and I ended up married to that person. So that's a story I haven't shared on Unbuttoned, but yeah, I mean, I do believe it's a thing.
I don't mean to backtrack, but when you said that in every relationship you've been in, you've lost yourself, What do you think? How do you think that occurred? Like looking back on those relationships, like did you get comfortable and you like just molded your life around theirs, or was it that you put them in the forefront before yourself? Like, I'm really interested to know what that was like and why it was so repetitive.
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. 100%. That's exactly it. I am such a hopeless romantic. I am the provider. I am the supporter. I get into a relationship and I feel like, okay, now it's not about me. It's about lifting you up. What do you need? It's all about us now. It's about you and it's about us. And I kind of lose myself in that. Things that I used to love to do, hanging out with other people outside of my relationship. Those things kind of fall to the wayside. It's like, how can I spend as much time with you as possible? How can we, plan for every day of our future moving forward? All these things, and it one day you wake up and you're like, oh my God, like this, what happened here? I no longer have an identity in this. It's just become about you and about us,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah. And that relationship that I moved into very quickly, they had a lot of insecurities that they projected onto me. And they made me feel like my identity was wrong, or the way that I was as a person was wrong. And I felt like I needed to be a certain way for her. So it did cause me to like lose myself for sure. When I got out of that relationship, I was like, where? It wasn't even like, who am I? It was just like, where is she? More so, like, I was just like, I need to find her again. I was in therapy for months, but it was the best transition I ever had in my life. Like, I felt like I I found the version of me that I was like yearning for, and I felt like my life just went. I was on a runner's high for so long, and it's just been a growing sensation since then that I love to talk about. Like 2022 changed my life. I give people advice on it. I always said I was going to write a book about it because I just felt like it was the best transformation ever. But I did lose myself. But finding yourself and that time that you have alone after that breakup, oh my God, it's better than dating. It is better than dating, y'all. I'm telling you.
Listen, before I respond to that, hey, if you for my next guest, if you guys are in the chat, can you all say something so my moderator could bring you up? But yeah, Imani, like please put that book out because I need to read it. I'm in that. I think you and I have been out of a relationship for the same amount of time.
Yeah, we have.
And I've been growing so much, and it's been a beautiful thing. And I've come to the conclusion that nothing happens to you; it always happens for you. And so this has been transformational for me.
Thank you. I'm her. I appreciate that.
Yes, I'm very proud of you.
And I'm very, very proud of you too. Like, we met each other at a very interesting time.
Yeah.
We were both hurting and trying to understand what just took place in our lives. And it's crazy to say, like, been over 6 months, but like right now I'm happy. Like, I'm happy. Like, I'm not really dating that much. I tried a little bit, but I was like, no, I think this season is meant for me to just be with self. And again, I feel like whenever I'm single after a breakup, like that time alone be real special. I feel like it's always something that I love to document, and I love to talk about because I end up finding so many new things about myself that I didn't know before. And I just feel like I'm like building things that like are gonna make me better for my next relationship. It's beautiful. Like, I'm so happy.
Tell me one thing before I start talking to my girl Coco Blues. Tell me one thing that you're doing for yourself right now that is really giving you life.
I'll tell you my favorite thing that I'm doing. I am walking. I go out every day and I walk 4 miles every day to a different destination. Yeah, every day in New York. And I usually sometimes I play music, but sometimes I don't play music. I just allow my surroundings to be what it is. And I just talk out loud. Sometimes I just talk out loud to myself, things that I'm feeling that day, whether it was a bad day at work, whether I'm just down, whether I'm in my feels again. I just speak it out loud. I've been having writer's block, so it's been really hard for me to journal. So that's been my way of journaling. I've just been speaking out loud. And it's been allowing me to reconnect with myself in a different way. I can't explain it, but the way that I've just been speaking lately, it's different. And I'm here for it. So I think it's working. But that's something I've been doing that's been amazing for me.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back to Tim, but you know, it's spotty. Coco Boo, thank you for coming back up.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Uh, it's funny because when you asked those questions and you was like, one day you came in and then you never left. I'm like, huh? Yeah, what was in the
Doing that.
spaghetti? That's given what was in the spaghetti because
Yeah.
there's no way. I mean, I could not fathom getting into any one circumstance where I only knew this person a day and I'm never gonna leave and we're in
But what
this
if this is your
blissful.
soulmate? What if this is the love of your life?
I'm sorry, but I'm just that I've been in too many situations to know already with my experiences that there is no absolute freaking way that after one day I'm moving in, I'm never leaving. There's got to be some spell casted. Something happened. Something happened that was maybe beyond our understanding because I mean, I know that I've had experiences where I felt like a person was in my life that I dealt with in another lifetime. I've definitely had those experiences. However, do I think that I would want to be in a situation where I'm in someone's home for the first time ever meeting them as a new person and never leave? Absolutely not.
That's real
I
comfort.
mean,
That's real
you
comfort.
know, I because I'm trying to like in my mind understand how did they get there? You know what I mean? Like you are just that intrigued by a person, you fell in love in 2 seconds, and no, there's absolutely no way. I'm sorry.
Process.
I just don't know how, but for me, I'm someone who I have moved fast, but not that fast. I think within a matter of months, I could say my feelings were stronger maybe than the other person's and things like that. But would have to at least be some months in between before just the first time meeting you, spending a little bit of time with you. Like I said, you can, and I'll say this, you can be with a person for 10, 15, 20 years and still not know who they are.
Yeah,
They could have a
absolutely.
secret life. They could be hiding things from you. You know how many things that people over years being married have found in laptops and text messages, cell phone. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm just a scary person. Maybe I'm just not. I don't know.
No,
You're
Just
like
know.
protective, and I think that's okay. Again, I,
Hmm.
I really do think it's a generation thing. I really do. I feel like right now we're living in times where love bombing exists, and it's
Oh
something that's talked
God.
about a lot more.
Yes, it does.
So, and I feel like especially in our community, 24 hours. I'll say for myself, I've had a 24-hour date before. I've had been with somebody and like not wanted to leave. It'll feel great, but like I just feel like after a certain age, you got to know that you do have to go because it's dangerous if you don't. And it's a lot of there's a lot of emotions that can confuse you
and what
to
happened
make
to
you feel
space?
like you're
What happened to space? Sometimes, you
yeah
know, I don't need you in my face. Like, you know, I'm
Listen.
here all
yeah.
the time. You
See,
know,
I think that that's the Sagittarius in me because
Oh, I'm
I
a
love
Sagittarius
you.
too.
I'm December 11th. When's your birthday?
I'm the 7th.
Number 7.
Okay, now clock
Hey.
You
it.
didn't even remember?
Of course,
Listen,
I told you that's my
I,
grandmother's birthday.
I
I,
know, but I'm so happy you remember.
I could love you to pieces, but I do need my space. I think that makes the heart grow fonder when we can get away from each other. Like I might look up at you one day and say, "You ain't got nowhere to go tonight. Like your friends ain't, doing something interesting or whatever. Like
Your
just get out
friends
of my
doing
face
something.
for
Right.
5 minutes and let me
Do
miss
they
you.
have
We don't
friends?
have."
That's the first
Okay,
question. Do
listen.
they have friends?
Okay.
If they don't have friends, run.
Well, no, see, and I don't believe that either because I'm the type of person. I'm a introvert extrovert as a Sagittarius, and I don't need a whole bunch of people around me. Now, do I want to get away from my significant other from time to time just to create that "let me miss you" feeling? Yeah, no, a whole bunch of friends because nowadays we realize that friends aren't really friends. So, and that's
I
a
just
whole
never want
nother
somebody to
topic.
fully rely on me like all the time to fill
Yeah,
in those gaps. I feel like, um,
absolutely.
and I do think it depends. Like this was mentioned earlier in the live, how long people stay alone after breakups. There are some people who are
Hmm.
codependent and
Hmm.
can't be alone. And those people, unfortunately, I cannot date those kind of people. If you cannot be with self for a long amount of time before you start itching to be with somebody again, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Well, see, we Sagittarius, and I feel like the
And I'm
Sagittarius is the
clingy, but I
ultimate
need my space.
hermit. We are the ultimate hermit. We will go in hermit mode. We don't
Yeah, we
care
will.
if people, like that whole thing about ghosting. It's like that doesn't apply to us because, like, okay, ghost me, bye.
Yeah. And
Let me get my whole entire life.
I have to say this, women are amazing. Women are beautiful. We love them for a reason. And
Mhm.
it's easy to want to be like, you are so beautiful. You're so amazing. I want to be in your space all the time. But that is not healthy, right? We need to make sure that so I don't know about you, Coco Blue, but I have fallen in love at first sight.
Mm.
And like I said, I ended up marrying the person. I do believe that it's a thing, but there's still, you have to keep some autonomy in you know what I'm saying. You cannot lose yourself, and I was in that relationship for well over a decade. So technically it worked, but did I lose myself? Absolutely, I did. I was clingy. I did not know how to manage after that.
So since that happened, how have you grown when you know the difference? Say if you were to get into another relationship, another 10-year cycle. Because, last time around I told you, like, I feel like I wasted 10 years. I wasted 10 informative years of my life. So now that this is a decade and you've grown and on to the next, what do you think would keep you from falling into the same trap?
It's really learning myself, learning who I am, learning to love myself, having something that I don't, if you are in my life or if you're not in my life, this is mine. You know what I mean? Like having something that is mine, having my own friends, outside of our couple friends. All those things
Absolutely.
are so important. I have to know that I love myself first and foremost. That's the thing. I used to love myself second. After I love you, then love.
Mm.
Now I'm changing that narrative, and I'm still learning. I'm not all the way there yet. I have to admit that, but I'm getting there for sure. And I hate that you consider it a waste. I feel
Yeah,
like
that really hurt me.
Well, to me, the only reason why I say that is because remember, I said earlier, I thought this was my forever person.
Yeah.
So it really hurt me that I was in my early 30s when I met this person. And then I became 40, and it was like 10 years. And now I'm going to have to get back out there again. I think that I rushed it when I moved on because I'd only known the person for 4 years. I mean, for 4 months. And then we physically met each other and we started dating. And then they moved into my home. And then the person turned out to be a stalker and a psycho.
wow,
So it was like, okay, I'm in my 40s now and I'm old enough to know what it is versus what it's not. But I was off and on with this person for 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. And more time wasted. So and like I said, I mean, I learned some in that 10-year relationship, I learned a lot. And to this day, I love that woman tremendously. There's nothing nobody could tell me about. However, it just wasn't it for us. But when it comes down to me moving on. And then I did move a little fast. And then this person turned out to be not what I expected. It's like all I'm doing is just wasting time because I am the person who is addicted to love in the sense that I want my forever person and I don't want it to ever be where now I have to start over again. Because, like I said, with my addiction to love, is this is going to be the person I'm going to be with for the rest of my life till death do us part. And whatever cycles our relationship is going to go in, we're going to get through it because I don't see moving on from you. I don't see having to start all over again.
Yeah, I'm her asked, what have you learned? I'd love to know one thing you learned.
Mhm. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I'm her asked, what have you learned? I'd love to know one thing that you learned.
What did I learn? I learned that I do need to put more into me and not give so much to other people and lose sight of myself. So that was something that I can say that I learned because that's how I tend to be in relationship. I get so focused on the other person, I lose sight of who I am, and then it's all them, 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 them. Then when they walk away, it's like, okay, well, now I have to start rebuilding, figuring me out, and all of this other stuff.
Coco, if you
I
don't
just
mind
learned
me
not to
asking.
lose myself in another person to the point where I just, allow another 10 years to dust and to grow under my feet.
When was the last time? I'm not trying to be in your business, but when was the last time you dated yourself?
I dated myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
I don't even know what that means if I got to be honest. Because I mean, if you're saying like, did I take myself out somewhere? Because I've been to places where I've been out alone, but dated myself, no, I don't think I've ever.
So I want to challenge you. You're single right now?
Yes.
Okay. If you're not dating anybody, I don't know how long you've been single. I don't know how long you've been out of that relationship, but I want you to try to like date yourself, not just taking yourself out on a solo date. I want you to just be with you. Put yourself in like environments that you usually don't put yourself in and
Mm-hmm.
just sit with yourself and see how you feel. Or late at night at bed when you're lonely and you think about the last person you were with. Try to think about something else to do, like pick up a book or pick up something you normally wouldn't do at night and just try it for like 20 days and like see how you feel.
So find things that make me happy with me
Yep.
just being by
That you normally
myself
wouldn't do.
and do that.
Like even think about things that you wanted your partner to do for you in your relationship that they didn't do
Okay.
for you. And give it to yourself and see what feeling you feel when
Hmm.
you give those things to yourself. I'm gonna follow you and I wanna
Okay.
know.
Yeah,
Right. Okay, absolutely.
I
Because
love that
I've
too.
never dated myself before. And I maybe this is a great idea because for me, like I said, I'm the type of person who I don't really like to let the dirt grow up under my feet too long or the grass grow up under my feet too long. And, that's because now that I'm older, I'm 45. Like, I feel like the clock is ticking at this point. So it's kind of
Time is an
scaring me a little bit.
illusion. It is an
It's making me a little
illusion. You thinking
nervous.
about it like that is you that's how you age yourself.
Like
Don't
I'm
even like think
45.
about that. Cause what
We're
I
in our
what I wouldn't
prime.
want for anybody, I wouldn't want for anyone to settle because we're getting older or we feel like this is when we're supposed to have whatever. I feel like your love, your right love is gonna come exactly when it's supposed to. I
Absolutely.
do. Don't let it psych yourself out. You're beautiful, you're gorgeous. Like
Thank you.
you're gonna get exactly what is meant for you. I promise you that. But just do
Okay.
not settle. Just
I
live
Oh
within
no.
you. Forget the clock
Oh
and
no.
watch what comes to you.
I
Somebody
cut.
said like you might be blocking your potential by like I forgot what they said. Oh my
Am I
god.
blocking my
It was so
potential?
good. They were like, oh my god, it was so good. Wait, they was like fear of starting over can hold you back from your potential. But I feel like in this time for you to start over, like start
It's
over
not,
with you and
no,
see.
it's not fear of starting over. It's not wanting to have to keep starting over. Because what I feel like I realize at this point is that giving people genuine chances who don't deserve to get them.
Mm,
However, I've always been this person who has led like this.
mm,
When I break up with someone and now if I decide to get back out there, I don't have this idea that I need to start looking at the new person like people of my past. I give people a genuine chance.
mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, for me as a Sagittarius, we tend to give people a little bit more chances than they deserve. And
Yeah,
then when we finally
absolutely.
say
I
we
agree.
done, then we're done. But how much time passes before we finally say we done? So
Yeah.
that is one of the biggest problems I've had over my lifetime is constantly letting people back in and giving them another chance and time after time after time. And it's like, okay, now I'm done. I'm moving on. But I don't like to put people in a position to make them feel like they have to pay for what somebody did in my past. Because you're an individual. I gotta get to know you. So once I get to know you, and, pretty much now I've fallen for you. I'm gonna give you some chances. That's how the time starts to go. Like, okay, well, they messed up. Give them another chance. They messed up.
Mm.
So I think it's more so me having to now be better about how many chances are you willing to give a person. They showed you who they are. Believe them. Because I don't lead with the idea of I'm going to treat you bad because of the person in my past. But I meet a lot of people who try to do that to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the challenge that you gave her, Imani, and I think everybody in this live, even if you are in a relationship, like Endless Summer said, you need to continue to date yourself. But that's a challenge I want everyone to accept: is date yourself, romanticize your own life. If you've never had a partner who bought you flowers, buy them for yourself. If you take yourself on a beautiful date, you know what I mean, get dressed up for yourself, show up for you, and like I said, this is something I'm working on as well, talking to myself the way that I talk to the women in my life, what I mean? Treating myself the way that I treat them, with the same amount of just beauty, you know what I mean, and there's something we need to do. We don't do it enough. How many chances did you give yourself to be treated as you should be?
Hmm.
Chances that I give myself, none. Like I said, I would, they mess up, take them back. It would be the same thing over and over and over again until I finally got fed up, and then I would just be like, okay, I'm done. I'm walking away. I'm disconnecting. I'm you out my life. I'm done. You know what I mean? So that's something that I have a hard time with because I have such a big heart. I'm the type of person that I try to find understanding and why you messed up. And I'm sitting up there analyzing, okay, well, how can we fix this? How do we, make it better so this doesn't happen again? All this time, it's so many things I'm trying to do to work towards it not happening again and us moving forward that I'm not thinking that, oh, this is not the person for me. I'm thinking maybe this is something we need to work on.
You have to forgive yourself, though, for all of those things that have occurred. We are so quick to put so much on ourselves and be like, oh my God, I messed up. I'm not doing this right. But we're so quick to take people back for the things that they do. You got to give yourself that grace. You just need to enforce your boundaries early, like someone said earlier, and you will see a difference in the way that you date. Prioritize you first, them second.
Okay.
Always.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah,
is the biggest thing that I've learned so far this
uh,
year.
yeah. Someone said something that I wanted to highlight. Someone said, was that I lost it. Someone said, though, she said, I used to fear being alone. And I know a lot of us fear being alone. Loneliness is like one of the worst feelings. As a human being, we crave connection with other people. I think the challenge is figuring out how to be alone but not lonely, right?
Mm.
And there are so many ways that we can pour into ourselves to the point where it's like I'm enjoying watching this movie by myself with nobody talking in my ear. I'm enjoying, going out and having whatever I want to eat. I don't have to ask nobody else what they want to eat tonight. I'm enjoying just pouring into to myself and doing the things that I want to do. Enjoy those moments before you have someone that now, okay, now we gotta think together. Okay, what are we gonna eat? Where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do? Like enjoy this time.
Be comfortable within your own skin before you invite somebody else to be in that with you.
For sure. How are you gonna get to know who you are?
Yeah, that's what I really think you should do, Coco. I could tell you're a lover girl. And I'm telling you, once you start dating yourself, you're going to be like, what the hell did I put up with? And I'm telling you, them boundaries going to stand. I'm telling you, it's going to stand tall. You're going to be running a strict program about what you allow to be around you again. And I cannot wait to see that for you. I cannot wait.
I love this. And you're gonna follow her and you're gonna keep her accountable, right, Imani?
I am, because I can't wait. I'm excited.
I love that. I think you need to film that so we can all see your first solo date. What's up to
do this? I'm gonna follow you back.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Good evening, everybody. I'm still just listening for the moment. A lot of things have been said. And yeah, so I'm just listening. Once I have a comment, I will be sure to drop it.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
And that was a beautiful topic.
Yeah. Listen, I think what I say every time I come into this space is that I don't have any topics that I can't relate to, and I relate to this one so much about learning to love myself. I'm still working on it. And I'm like, where is this? Has this love been? You know what I mean? I'm glad that I'm finding it now, though.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
If you could rate where you are in your journey right now from a 1 to 10, where do you feel like you are?
What 10 is like I'm what?
Like you're ready to date again. You feel like you're in the best place you could be within yourself. Like
I'm gonna say I'm at a 6. I'm at a 6. I'm really getting there. I went from being a 1 though. I went from being like, man, I'm out of love.
I didn't mean to come back up. I was trying to follow Imani and I don't know how to do it. So I had dropped down thinking I could figure it out from there. And I'm sorry, you guys. I don't want to mess up the discussion. I'm trying to.
Summer. Let's go. She said
I'm
it's
gonna.
the hot stud summer.
Yeah, bro.
What does that look like?
We gonna be in the streets.
Oh Lord.
Britt, where you at again? Cause we need to connect. We need to connect.
I already heard how they be in your city, Ian.
It's crazy. Someone invited me to Amsterdam for the summer, so we might be out there doing that.
It's a hot stud summer for real, man. Like I said, I was single last summer, but it was like fresh out of that long ass relationship I was telling y'all about. And it's my first year.
Boss.
It's my first year where I'm like single.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with your thing, Britt.
Can y'all hear me? Yeah.
It's like it's hard.
He about to have a good single summer. She sure is.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. Who blowing up your phone? She said, who blowing up your phone? Yeah, she out here being single.
She having a hot stud spring.
Hot stud summer. That's right. Hot stud summer. For me, it's what y'all talking about, right? For me, this summer is about, well, since this beginning of this year is about my becoming. I mean, last year was about my becoming and who I am, but this year was so dedicated to the alignment in the becoming, of making sure I'm aligning myself with people, with opportunities, with environments and conversations. That's what this year is poured into. So it is hot stud summer, but it's really more about Brittany just finding what Brittany like to do. You know, go travel by myself, go hang out with a bro, go meet Erin. You know what I'm saying? Go do whatever I want to do. If I want to go to a pride and be out all night, you know, I've never been able to have a life outside of having to consider somebody else, you know, having to think about how what I'm doing and my actions would affect somebody else. I want to be able to just live a single life.
Yes.
And be single and whatever. And the thing is, I'm not saying I'm going to go out here and sleep with the world, right? That's not what I'm saying. But I want to enjoy my autonomy for just the time that I finally have it. Whatever that looks like for me, I'm just going with the flow.
Absolutely.
But hot stud summer, we outside, we got the buns out, we got the thighs out with the hoochie daddy shorts. You know what I'm saying? We outside.
What city you in?
I am in like an hour outside of LA. I'm in Cali right now.
Okay.
I'm from ATL, so I'm planning to travel this summer. You know, if y'all outside, let me know because I'm outside.
Yeah, you know, listen, you know what you said about like you don't know what it's like to like really be out there in the streets and like just thinking about yourself. I'm so unused to that to the point that like I feel like there's somebody I always need to be checking in.
Yes.
I feel like I need to be checking. Hey, I left the house.
Really?
I feel like I could never let loose because I always feel like there's something I'm doing wrong. And it took me a year to get to this place that I can sit in myself like, Brittany, you can go do this. You can go do that. You don't need somebody to do this. You're not nobody's checking for you, you know? Yeah, it's been a long time coming, man. And it really has. And like I said, with me dating older women and me coming into myself, I felt like I was always in a box. I could never just be me, never felt free, never felt liberated. And to be where I'm at right now after going through everything I'm going through, thriving in California where most people would assume you wouldn't, but I'm the most happiest at peace in my serenity out here than I've ever been in. And I just want to go through the summer with that too. You know,
I love that.
I love that.
I love that for you.
I love that so much, man. You know, and I appreciate you coming up and saying that. I don't know if my guests are gonna make it, guys. I don't know if they're gonna make it, but this topic has meant so much to me because I'm really pouring into myself. Thank you so much, Britt, for everything.
Much love. Like, you keep doing you. I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you right now so we can you know link up.
You know, and I talk to the lovely feminine women in this chat all the time. So I feel so special when the Masc come in here. So and we get to bond.
Bro friendships is a little, it's a little touchy right now of finding bro friendships. Have you had that conversation on this panel yet?
I'm sure I have. Yeah, we have. We
finding friends and needing friends.
We have, and that comes from not feeling comfortable being vulnerable with each other for some reason. You know,
unsaid competition for no reason.
Unsaid competition, like it's so much behind it. But that's why I love, organizations like Masc Bosses. You know, they're redefining that. So yeah, we out here. We trying to change the narrative for sure.
For sure.
I love that. You said you wanted it. You manifested that a few months ago.
Right?
That's life, man. Y'all gotta make sure y'all speak shit out loud. Say what you want. Say what you want and live the life that you're manifesting.
Absolutely.
You want the things that you want with your wife. Make sure you're living that life right now as if you had that wife.
Yes. I saw your post where you were talking to your wife. I don't know.
I'm gonna keep talking to her. Even though she ain't here, but she's somewhere hearing what I'm saying.
Wifey.
That's right.
I love that.
So much love, but I appreciate you. I'm always available for you, bro. I'm gonna drop down and let you finish doing your thing. All right.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. What's up, Endless Summer?
Hey man, you lucky you got that kind of access to me to just be sending invites to get on live, man.
I had to get you up here, man. You be in the chat with all this like really good information and comments. I had to get you up here.
You know I love you, man. You know we support each other.
For sure. Thank you. Yeah,
I want to repeat that last comment you said. You said something about being able to reproduce something in relationships. So I feel if I ask you, then you're going to say it again and you're going to expound.
Yeah. I said that you can still be free in that way in a relationship. Britt had mentioned, which I know we've been through before, right? Like being in a relationship, and going out feeling like you constantly have to check in with someone, or you always have to be on the phone with this person or whatever. It takes your freedom away. But a lot of that comes from insecurities within a person or attachment issues, so you can definitely have your freedom and still be in a relationship. Also, you have to determine what that quote unquote freedom, looks like for you.
Great. Well said. Well said. Well said. Thank you. Thank you for that. Um, hi. Hi. I think my guest is here, guys. Let's see. Okay, I don't know. For some reason I can't hear you. Can you say something? I just lost all my sound for a second.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, perfect. I can hear you. I can hear you. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, so we're gonna I want to talk to you because we've been talking this whole night about relationships and how we get into them so quickly sometimes. As lesbians, we U-Haul. But there are some success stories. And I want to talk about the success story. I've heard a lot about your love story. Actually, I went over to YouTube and I watched some of your story. And so I really want to hear all about it. So before we get into it, though, I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I am Stephanie. A lot of people call me Denise on Facebook. I'm Denise Turner. And I'm excited to be here first of all. And I am one of the people that said I would never get married because love just somehow, some reason don't find me, or when it finds me, I've been through some things. Let's just say that. So I'm excited to be here with y'all tonight. It's not a lot to say to introduce myself because I guess when I start talking, y'all will start learning more about me as I talk. But my partner, she's not here right now because she's on a flight. And as soon as she gets off the flight, if we're still on, she'll jump in, but she's not here yet.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. I met her at the Masc Gen Bosses weekend. So I briefly met her. And so, again, thank you for being here. Thank y'all for okay, let's get right into it. So again, I watched some of your story, I heard some of your story, and my eyes were just like wide open the whole time, like blown away. So if you could give me kind of like the cliff notes, so the whole chat can understand what your story is, your love story. How did you meet? How did you connect with this person? I'd love to hear it.
So, basically, I was in a low point in my life where I had been in a relationship. Well, I was in a situationship because I was still living with my ex. I was still having hope that maybe if I stay, we stay in the same house, there's a possibility that she'll figure out that somehow she's going to come back to me. We're going to love on each other. So we have played house for about 2 years. And when I met my person, one night I was just tired. I was just over it. I was just tired of being down. I was just tired of, feeling unloved. I got to a point where I was like, you know what? Let me just get back outside and be like the lady said earlier. Let me do me. Let me start dating me. Let me start, loving on me. Let me just start taking myself out. So I did. I started going out with friends again, having a good time. I wasn't even thinking about dating. I wasn't interested at all. I was like, I'm done. There's no dating for me. And we went out to a lounge in Dallas. And it was a nice lounge, quiet night. We was having a good time. And that's when my mate now approached me. And when she approached me, she just walked up to me. She was staring at me and I was staring at her. She was staring at me and I was staring at her. And I'm like, I know this girl from somewhere, but she was staring at me like, oh my God, this girl is beautiful. So when she approached me, she came up to me and she just said, hey, I think you are so fucking gorgeous. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you.
That's what those are the first words to you. Okay. All right.
She was just like, you're so fucking gorgeous. And I was with some of my friends and she was just like, can I buy you guys a drink? Not just you, all of y'all a drink, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay. So she went off to go buy a drink. She came and she sat with us. And the reason I was kind of looking at her because I was like, I know her from somewhere. I couldn't put it together, but I was like, I gotta know her from somewhere. But she sat with us, we had good conversation and all that good stuff. She walked off and went somewhere with another young lady, which I didn't know who she was. And I was on the dance floor having a good time, and she just came and snatched me up, and she asked my bro friend, my friend that's my like my stud brother. She asked her, "Is this your woman?" She was like, "No, no, this is my sis." And so when she touched me, I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, her touch is kind of, wait a minute, hold up. It felt
Awesome.
safe. It felt safe. It felt warm. I felt protected. It's just something about that touch when she did it. And we danced, we talked, and then almost at the end of the night, she came back. She let me know that the young lady that was with her was her daughter. And so she told me that she was just like, "Can I get your number?" Okay, this is where it gets tricky. So while she's standing in front of me, I turn around and face my friends and I start talking. Wait a minute. She want my number. I'm not gonna give her my number. I'm not used to dating girls like her. So it was a box because I always had a box. I'm used to dating light skin, long hair, kind of like I guess you would say like the stems, if that's what we call it. Okay, so I had like a preference, and was like a boy. She was she was more dominant, low haircut. She was nice, dressed nice and everything, but I was like, she's a player. I just started putting up all kinds of shields, like, nah, she's gotta be a player. She's gonna be one of them little girls that wanted you to take care of them. It was just so much going through my head because I wasn't looking for that. I wasn't looking for anyone to be looking for me. And it kind of caught me off guard. So I was self-sabotaging exactly what I was doing. Okay. So I did that. And she asked my number, and my friend was like, excuse my friends, but she was like, "B, you better give her your number. What you doing? She's cute." And I'm like, "Will you give her your number?" You know,
Yeah.
but I told her to give me her number. Okay. So y'all know how that goes. When you ask for their number, you may call them, you may not call them, right? Yeah. So from that point, I go home. We talk about it. I'm not still thinking about it, but we talk about it. And I decided to self-sabotage again. So I called her at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning because I wanted her girlfriend to answer the phone. So
Oh.
I would have a so I would have a reason to hang up on her or tell her I'm not interested. I just was like, okay, she's gonna have a girl answer the phone. They're gonna be like, I mean, who is this calling you? And I'm gonna be like, okay, click, it's done, it's a wrap. I was really sabotaging myself, right?
Who answered the phone
So,
when you called?
huh?
Who answered the phone when you called?
So when I called, she said hello, and I was like, oh, I was caught off guard. I
Okay.
was like, "Oh, okay. Hey, hi." I was like, this is," she said, "I know who you are." And I was like, "Oh, well, who am I?" She was like, "You're Stephanie. I met you last night." And I was like, in my mind, I was like, this girl don't probably got a whole lot of numbers. I was like, girl, that was just random. She just remembered that. But so I just kept trying to make it not work, make it not be what she wanted it to be. I wanted her to be with somebody. I don't know. I didn't know what I wanted. So basically what she did is we started conversating. And as we started conversating, no lie, y'all, I was like, oh my God, this girl is stalking me. She has to be stalking me because she liked the same color. We like blue. She liked the same insect. She liked the same type of food. She liked going to the same places. She was family oriented. She was me. I was talking to me on the phone. And if I'm gonna back up just a little bit, I had been my heart had been broken so many times. My last prayer to God was, to be honest with y'all, I've been gay all my life, okay? But my last prayer to God was walking around crying at a lake because I did some weird stuff. Um, when you're heartbroken, you're heartbroken. You walk at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, you kick doors in, you do a lot of crazy stuff. And that was me. And so my last prayer to God was, if you send me somebody just like me, you know, I just want them to be a protector. All I need from them, they don't have to have a lot of money. I just want to cuddle. I want a cuddle buddy. Like they love to cuddle. They love, children, because I have two, that they take me with all my flaws. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be Janet Jackson or whoever out there. I'm me. I'm genuine. I have a big heart. I give my all. I give my last to people. I've always taken care of people. That's all I do. Anybody that know me will tell you that I take care of everybody. I give you whatever I have. I was just like, I want somebody to love me like I love. I love deep, like this real love. And I used to call myself Stephanie Real Love. Okay, because I'm a fairy taleist. I believe that this little carrot's gonna come up and pick me up and take me off and all that good stuff. So I was like, Lord, if you send me somebody like me, I don't care at this point if it's a male or female. And I got to that point where I was like, maybe I shouldn't be dating females. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I started when I was about 8 or 9. I'm sorry. But we play mamas and daddies. We play mamas and daddies. So I was just like, God, let this be, let this be what I need, what I deserve. Why I can't have love. My exes, they treated me bad. They cheated on me. They took me through there, okay? And I'm not just here trying to diss them or anything like that, because we have a good relationship now as friends. But I'm just like, they didn't see my heart. They didn't, now they do, but they didn't see my heart then, and they didn't see the love I was give. I'm the one that I nurture them. I take care of them when they're ill. They go into the hospital. I do whatever. Even if we're not together, I'll take care of them. If they don't have money, I'm going to give it to them. I do whatever it takes to make them, be loved or feel loved, and I even got to the point with my last relationship that I said, even if God told me today that you had AIDS, I would stay with you. That's how much I love, because I don't judge you according to that. My heart is with you. It was with that person. So this person scared me because I'm like, she got to be stalking me, y'all. She got to be really stalking me. But she was not stalking me. She didn't know me like that. We never met. So we thought. Um, so after that, what I did to her on that phone call, y'all, is I sent her a little cute little message that said, will you be my date? And it was like tonight. That was on a Sunday. I was like, will you be my, we was going to see, I don't know if y'all know Ruby Scott, that's my cousin. We was going to see one of her shows, and it had to do with like abuse and cancer survivors and stuff like that. So I was like, will you be my date? And she was like, yeah, sure. So here go me self-sabotaging again. So I invited one of my closest friends to go with us on a 3 date. on a threesome. So knowing that I invited her to go on a date, I also included my friend. I was like, you know what? She just a girl I just met. I want you to go too. So we all three went, and I was like, okay. She was like, no, y'all need to go by yourself. You just met her. I was like, no, go girl, go with me. Come on. So she went on a date with us, and we end up leaving my friend in the back row by herself because we was so into each other. We was like, so like, oh my God. Because I had been through abuse. She's been through abuse. She's been through loss. And she turned to me when they did. Hey, friend. That's my friend. That's my friend that was with me, y'all.
I brought her up here to attest to this love story.
Yeah, so this is my friend that just signed in. She was actually the friend that I brought with me on that little threesome double date. So anyway, she bought me some food. She bought both of us some food, and I asked her, can I feed her? And she thought that was amazing because she was just like, oh my gosh, she's trying to feed me. She was like, and then I fed her. She didn't even want it, but I fed her. And because I fed her, that made her feel some type of way. So she asked me to feed her again. So I did. So inside the show, they started talking about the domestic violence. And I've been through some domestic things with my kid's father. I have some older kids. And I got emotional, and she was just like, can you share with me, how you're feeling right now? And I said, yeah, I've been through a lot. I used to get abused by my mom. I got abused in relationships. I said, And this right here just hits me, you know, and she was just like, if I had been there, I would have protected you. And y'all, when she said that, I was just like,
This is the second date. This is the first. Okay,
this is our first date.
first date, really.
First date. This is our first date, okay? So we left there on that date, okay? And after that date, we basically went to like a party after, and we just kind of danced and laughed and played and had a good time. And then after that, she was just like, she called me the next day. Since I called her, she called me. She put one of me on. She put a me on me. Okay. She called me the next day, and she asked me. That was a Monday. She asked me, like, what do you got going on today? I said, well, I'm a coach. I'm a cheer coach. You know, I teach at a school. I teach autistic children. And I said, I'm a cheer coach. And she was just like, well, can I come watch you in your environment? And I was like, wait a minute, that's kind of weird. But I did ask her on the date the first, you know, the second night. I asked her on the date. So I was like, okay, no problem. Because there's a lot of people there. We good. So she came to the school. And when she came to the school, she was doing her thing. All the coaches and all the teachers, everybody was loving on this woman. I'm like, wait a minute. And they didn't know she was with me. They was loving on her. They was talking. She was talking about the game, the basketball game. And then my cheerleaders, you know, their parents were talking to her. And I'm like, oh my. And then when I was getting ready to move to another gym, because we had two gyms, she was upstairs. She don't move. We moved to the other gym for another game. She was upstairs with my two children, sitting in the stands, talking. And now I'm like, wait a minute, hell no. She gotta be stalking me. She's stalking me. She's up there with my children. She don't found me. She know them my kids, you know. But she when I walked up, I was kind of like, who y'all talking to? And they was like, oh, this is Miss Tasha. We invited Miss Tasha to our basketball game tomorrow.
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, how y'all know this lady? They was like, do you know her? And Tasha was like, who are these kids to you? And I said, these are my kids. So she found out those were my children. My kids had already got acquainted with her in the stands so much that they invited her to my daughter to her basketball game the next day. Y'all, this is day 3.
Wow.
So day 3, she goes to my daughter's basketball game. She comes to the game, and here go the twist. Y'all remember I told you I had somebody at home, which was my ex. So my ex was coming to the game as well. And Tasha was coming to the game on day 3. So Tasha walked into the stands. My ex was in the stand. She was upstairs sitting with me. So I had text Tasha to say, hey, letting you know that my ex is here with me. But she was like, well, is it cool for me to still come? I'm like, yeah, you can still come. We're not together. So she wanted to test me, challenge me now. Okay. So she came into the gym, and when she did, she introduced herself to my ex, shook her hand, and she sat on the side of me. So y'all, it was my ex on this side and Tasha, somebody who is trying to
Talk to you. Mm-hmm.
talk to me, get to know me on this side. And it was the most awkward moment. It was the most awkward moment ever, okay? But Tasha was just my friend. I wasn't trying I thought I wasn't trying to hook up or anything. I was just like, we just getting to know each other, okay? Cuz she has my attention, okay? She does have my attention now. My ex was trying to talk to me about other stuff, like almost like we was together still, and Tasha was talking, and it was so weird, but I did make it clear that she was my ex. And then I let Tasha know, you're my friend. I let both of them know what it is. You're my friend, but at the end of the day, we're here now. Okay. So that was day 3. After that, me and Tasha never separated. The next day, this girl is driving, y'all. She was living in Red Oaks. And I was living an hour and a half. And I was living in Princeton, Texas. So she was driving every other day to come out to see me. Okay. So the 4th day she came out, and we went out to eat in Princeton, and she stayed at the hotel. And then my sisters and stuff started saying, oh, hell no. This girl's a stalker. You better run. Something is wrong with her. Something is off. But in her mind, when she first talked to me that first day on the phone, I told her that I'm not taking no girlfriend. I don't want a girlfriend. I want a wife. if I be with anybody, I don't want to play house anymore. I don't want to do any of that. So Tasha was here to show me that when she saw me, the first moment she saw me, she fell in love with me. And the moment she saw me, and the moment she saw me, she thought I was the most gorgeous thing. So she was just like, she's not gonna let something go, because the thing with Tasha is her wife passed away in 2021. Okay, her wife passed away in 2021. Now let me tell y'all how this story gets very interesting.
Can I pause you right there? I have to tell you guys in the chat, this is the part of the story that I heard first. And I just want y'all to listen to this because I'm still kind of blown away. So I'm going to let you take it from there. Let you take it.
And somebody said, when did the kissing start? The kissing didn't start soon, okay? It didn't start that soon. It didn't start until we took after that, I think the weekend, we took a trip together. We took our first trip together that weekend in Houston, Texas. And I'll come back to tell y'all the part I was about to tell y'all. But because somebody just asked the question. Well, we first had our first kiss when we went to Houston. We went to stay with a friend because she was going through some things. So I'm one of those friends that run and go save my friends and go hug them and love on them and stuff like that. So we went to her home, and when we was in her home, yeah, I remind y'all, this is just the whole first week, okay? And that weekend, we went on a trip to Houston where we end up in, I think it's something Cove, Texas. And we was in her house. We had a good time. We cooked for my friend because she had went through some stuff. I cooked and Tasha cooked, and I didn't know Tasha could cook because I can cook, Tasha can cook. So we both make this big old spread for a king and queen. I mean, it was so much food that none of us could eat all that food. So they started inviting people over to eat because we cooked so much food, okay? But anyway, we had our first kiss because as we was at the house, Tasha, they was talking, and Tasha was like, this is my wife, I'm claiming her, basically. And my friends were like, well, I feel it. I love everything about you, your energy, this and this and that. And then Tasha came over there to me, and she just snuck one in, and she was just like, gave me this little smack, and she was just like, I was like, why you do that? She said, I said, because we're not finna hunch. We're not finna get booty, And I'm sorry, those are the words I use still. We're not finna have sex, okay? So then she was just like, no, because once I eat it, you're all mine. Once I go there, you're all mine.
Okay.
So
I've used that line a few times, but go ahead.
Okay, so that was our first kiss that first weekend, okay? Now let me rewind this to y'all and tell y'all this. So in 2014, the lady I told y'all that passed away, that was Tasha's ex-wife. She passed away of cancer in 2021, but I met her in 2014. Tasha and her was going through a separation. And rest her soul, because I love her so much. I did not know Tasha. Tasha did not know me. But her ex-wife, she was trying to like talk to me a little bit, like, come on to me as a girl crush. And I had to let her know that I'm not into film women. I like more dominant, women. I like the stems. I like them a little rough, but still cute, And so basically, she was just like, you know what? You've been through so much hurt in your life, and I've seen and witnessed some of the hurt you've been through with some of your past relationships. She was just like, I don't care if you don't want to be with me. She said, but I'm not going to stop until I find you that perfect person for you. And so this girl did all this in my inbox. She don't set me up with pastors. She don't set me up with these people and these people, because she's trying to find the perfect match for me, y'all. The perfect match. And she said that she said that I deserved it. And I said, why are you working so hard? She said, well, I know your soul and your heart. She said, you are a good person and you are lovable. She said, and you deserve happiness just like anybody else. And so she would not stop. Every time I turn around, she was giving me another number. Somebody else was calling me. She was sending my pictures to people. I was like, oh my God. So at the end of the day, somehow in I think it was 2017, she ended up leaving our organization, because we have a organization. So she ended up leaving our organization, and I couldn't find her. She like disappeared from the face of the earth. Well, what was happening is she became really ill to where she was bedbound. and she wasn't able to come volunteer with us and do stuff with us anymore. So I lost contact with her. So in 2021, I was just strolling on Facebook and I saw a funeral that said her name. And I was like, oh my God. So I texted her and I said, hey, I said, my condolences goes out to the family. This was in 2021. And Tasha responded. And that's when y'all remember I said I knew her face from somewhere. Tasha responded and said, thank you. I appreciate it. That was it. That was it. We never had a conversation. We never talked to each other. I never told Tasha I knew her wife or anything. Nothing. And all these years later in 2024, me and Tasha met. Tasha walked up to me and said I was beautiful. Now, the same time that her wife was trying to tell me I needed love when she got sick, she was telling Tasha, I need you to find the perfect person. She was trying to push Tasha out to go find the perfect person. You know, find a woman that will treat her the way she deserved, you know, to let her go, let her, because she knew she was going to pass away. So she was trying to encourage her to go do something different. And Tasha, she didn't. She just wouldn't. She said she couldn't. Now she's had relationships that didn't work, you know, after her wife passed away. But in the midst of it, she said that nobody ever could take her there. Nobody ever made her feel some type of way. But when she met me, it was just something about me. It was something about my spirit that made her approach me and say these things to me. Now, me and this girl, we got pictures together where we was all hugged up, loving on each other and everything, y'all. But nobody ever saw those pictures because we didn't post them. But what I did to Tasha is I called her and I said, you know what? Now I know how I know you. Because y'all know when we started talking, I started doing what everybody do. We be stalking now, looking through their little, we looking through their profile, trying to see what the dirt. I'm still self-sabotaging too. I'm trying to get the dirt to see how many women she got for real. You know, what's going on. This can't be true. You know, it cannot be true. So basically, me digging, I found that Amelia was her wife. So when I found that she was her wife, I just text Tasha, dropped the picture in her box and said, this is where I know you from.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What was her reaction to that?
She said she dropped her phone. She dropped her phone.
I'd have threw it across the room.
She said she dropped her phone and she said she got teary eyes because she was just like, what the, what the H word, And she said that when she did that, she had to take a moment because she was just like, what's happening right now? How does she know what's really going on? So Tasha called me. She said, that picture, how did you know her? And I said, well, I told her the same story I just told y'all. And then I showed her all my text messages so I could bag myself up because I didn't want her to think that me and her wife had a rendezvous going on. And she let me know that they were separated at the time. So if she was trying to talk to me, they were going through some stuff at the time. And she did say that, I don't know. She just got emotional. I got emotional and I kind of got scared because I was like, well, dang, is this lady like in my body or something? Because it was just weird because when Tasha took me to meet her friends, her family, they just kept calling me this girl name. They just kept saying I act like her. And then I had on some clothes. They said I dressed like her. I'm like, oh, hell no. Let me take this stuff off, because now y'all tripping.
Yeah.
Now y'all are tripping. But it's like we found each other. And then I walked into Tasha's office on her desk. She had this squeezy ball that was from my organization. She gave it to her so she wouldn't stress. And it was from my organization. And I walked and I said, where you get this ball at? She said, she gave it to me and told me this will bring me comfort. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Question. I gotta interrupt there. When you were finding out all this connection, did it feel peaceful or did it feel like scary? What were you feeling? And what was she feeling at the time?
I don't know. The moment I met Tasha and I really started talking to her and got to know her and stopped, trying to say I'm not gonna do this and I'm gonna just sabotage it. It was kind of like peace. it was like peace for me. It was just like, you know how, I don't know if y'all ever experienced someone passing away and dying, and then when they die, it just seemed like peace come over their face when they good people. And it just felt like peace in the atmosphere, in the air. It was just like love. I didn't feel unsafe. I felt like I've been knowing her all my life. And I'm just like, how can I know somebody but don't know them? And then week 2 came, we end up on a trip to Dominican Republic.
Mhm.
So we went there because she had to handle some business, and we went there, and it's just like, I don't know, I don't know what that trip had, but it's like I just fell in love with her there. And when she asked me, she said, "I'm not gonna ask you to be my girlfriend because I know that's not what you deserve." She was just like, "I'm just gonna ask you, will you be my forever person?" Now it don't have to be right now, but will you be my forever person? Because I have been manifesting, putting it out there in the atmosphere that in 2026 I was gonna get married. She had put it in the atmosphere that in 2025 she was going to get married, right? So we both had put this in the atmosphere. And one day it was like now remind y'all, we were together every day after that. Every day. Every day we was together after that. We never separated. And I just didn't want to for some reason. I felt connected to her. She felt connected to me. My kids felt connected. Everybody that came into our space, Misha, the young lady that's queen that's on here right now, she can tell you it was something about the energy. It was something about the spirit. It was something about the whole connection. It's the type of love that I never even felt before. Y'all know how y'all see that love on TV and it be like, oh my God, I want that. Like you see that sex on TV, you say, I want that. But then when you do it for real, it's like, what the hell? This was all made up. This wasn't it. You know what I mean? It was not it. But at the end of the day, um, just not I'm being personal. The sex was everything, the love was everything, the touch was everything. Just her touch alone, it makes me feel some type of way. It's like when we cuddle, it makes me feel some type. When she talks to me, when she breathes, hell, I feel some type of way, you know?
How long has it been since you met until now? Since the club till now?
So from the club to now, me and Tasha has been together, I think a little over a year. And basically a little over a year. And we're getting married on May 24th, 2026. We got engaged 4 months into our relationship.
Hey,
4 months.
congratulations. Congratulations, not only on the wedding, but on your love story. I mean, I have chills. I'm sure everybody listening to the story has chills. I mean, was there any time where you felt like this is going too fast?
No, I was told that it was a microwave relationship. I was told that my exes told me that. I was told that it was a U-Haul relationship. I was told that it was all types of relationships. But for the first time in my life, seriously, I can look at this person and say, I do. I love you. Like it's not I've never felt this feeling. I thought all my life that love was something you get from your family. I thought that this was the type of love you get from, the exes I was with. I thought that was love. But I never really, really felt in love with someone like I feel in love with her. Like and it's so real that it's scary to me sometimes because I'm like, is this real? I have to pinch myself. Like, is this real? This got to be made up, but it's real. And I used to be the one to tell people, girl, you moving too fast. Girl, you moving her already? Girl, no, that stuff don't work. You can't do that. And that was me. That was me kicking out that um it was just me just trying to make it not be what was happening before me. It just happened naturally. It wasn't forced. I didn't ask her, she didn't ask me. It just naturally it happened. And then one day, that was like maybe 2 months in, we was going into a basketball game. She opened my door for me and got me out the car. And I said, we was just walking, I said, oh, and she kissed me, hugged me, and I said, I love you. And I said, the fuck I just said?
It came out, huh?
It just slipped out. And I was embarrassed. And then she said, I love you too.
Someone asked, what are your zodiac signs?
Uh, Well, I'm a Taurus
Okay.
and she's a Pisces.
Okay. Listen. So
And
I need to take it back to the chat because we were all in here before you came on talking about how fast we move in relationships and everybody had their thing to say. What y'all got to say now? Because this is another perspective. I feel like this is the exception, but not the rule. There are times when souls just connect. I mean, clearly this is otherworldly. Clearly this was spiritual. Clearly there was something else in the works here. But yeah, I would love to ask your questions to my guests here. What do y'all have to say?
I just want to
Definitely.
say, at the time,
Go ahead, Rich.
everybody else was telling her that it was too fast. I was telling her to have her heart open
Mhm.
and accept the fact that somebody can walk in your life and give you absolutely everything that she absolutely deserved because she deserves it.
Yeah.
Because she's the walking epitome of unconditional love.
Wow. That's beautiful.
And that's my twin.
Why do you call her your twin?
Because we're exactly the same, except she's more extroverted and I'm introverted.
And you're gonna be in the wedding, right?
Yes, I am. Sure is.
So beautiful.
I cry every time they are in the room together
Yeah, you tell me your perspective of the whole relationship. Why do you cry when you see them together? What makes you cry?
because you can feel it. The
Mm.
way that they look at each other, the way that they interact with each other. My friend has been done so wrong. And to finally see someone pouring into her the way that she has poured into absolutely every soul that has walked into her life, whether that's family, whether that's friend, whether it's enemy, exes, kids, other people, kids. It could be a neighbor, a dog on the street. The way she pours into just people and things, the way she shows up for people, it's like at the same time, it's like one of those things where I know my friend is tired. I know she's tired, but she's still gonna go because she knows someone needs something. She doesn't want anybody to lack for anything at any moment. She is that friend. She is that support system for a lot of people. And she's been that for a lot of people. And not everybody has ever reciprocated that same energy. So when Tasha walked in her life and I told her, baby, have your heart open and just accept the fact that somebody can walk in your life and give you absolutely everything you wish you could have gotten from everybody else that you've given to everybody else. And it be just that. So when they stand in the room together, and the moment you see them just lock eyes, it could be for 0.00001 seconds. You absolutely feel the energy shift in the room.
Wow.
You can tell the way Tasha looks at her, she adores her. You can tell when Stephanie looks at her, she adores her.
yeah,
Chills.
yeah. And the thing about me is that I was that child that grew up where I always thought something was wrong with me. I had my mom. She used to, they used to say stuff like, "Oh my God, I wish I didn't have you." Those typical parents. My mom used to beat us and stuff like that. It used to be like, "You ugly, you look like da da da," whatever. It used to be those things that made me feel like when I was in high school, middle school, high school, I used to always look at my friends and want to be like them. I used to always want to see how I could fix myself and do this and do that. And in my relationship, it was always about, you know, I when I look back at all my pictures and everything, it's like I was a really cute girl. I was really fine, but I didn't see her. I didn't see any of that. I saw this girl that needed to do something to be more. I need this girl that needed to fix herself, that needed to do this and do that. And in all my relationships, whether they want to admit it or it was always like I was having to change something for somebody. I was having to, I'm too skinny, so I got thick, and then I got thick and fine. Then I was too fine because too many people looking at me. Then I got fat. Then it was this. It was like always what they wanted me to change about me. And I'm just like, I've been going through this all my life. Like I was that girl that felt like I had to change things about myself. You know, my heart never changed because people will tell you I've been the same person, giving, loving person. Always been a person that's very forgiving. If people mistreat me, I'm always trying to, you know, do this and do that. When I met Tasha, it was like, I don't want you to change. It's nothing I want to change about you. Nothing. Like even now when I said, "Oh, I got to lose a few pounds for the wedding." I'm not a big girl, y'all. I'm not, you know, but you know, I'm thick, but I'm not big. But when she said, you know, I said, "I want to lose a few pounds." She's like, "No, why? You don't have to lose anything for me. I want you just as way you are. I want you how you are." But y'all know how we are. We as women, we still want to go down. We want to do this, want to do that. And for the first time in my life, I can walk around this house naked and not feel like somebody's judging me. I can walk around this house and say something, don't feel like somebody gonna correct me. Or I can walk around this house, don't feel like somebody gonna tell me what to say, how to think, you know. And Tasha has put me back in my soft girl era. Cause in all of my relationship, I was always the one that, you know, was a provider. And I'm not gonna say in the last relationship because she kind of provided, but I'm just saying I was the one that always made sure they was safe. They was taken care of. Um, you know, they had everything they need. If they were injured, I take care of them. When I was sick, nobody take care of me. I take care of myself. But when they sick, I take care of them. You know, even if we're not together, I take care of them. Even if they leave me, go be with another broad and need my help, I'm coming. That was me. So it's like now Tasha was like, take the gloves off. You know, you can take them off now, you know, and you can live. You can, hey, James, that's one of my friends too. He was, you know, and James know my story too. So it was just like, you can actually live now. You can actually be you. And she said, all I want you to do is be you, be the loving person you are. And speaking life into your partner is a lot. I'm trying not to get emotional because I get emotional sometimes. I try not to.
How can you
But,
not?
but speaking life into a person,
Yeah.
you know, is everything. You know, it's like basically when you go through a lot in your life, because I've seen a lot in my life. I've seen death, I've seen people kill people, I've seen family kill people as a child. It's like you don't think that somebody's gonna love you like that, unconditionally strong like that. That's why I say that. Just give me a sec.
Breathe, breathe, because I think we're all feeling it. This is so beautiful. Your story is so absolutely beautiful. And you said she's not there right now, right?
No, she'll
Okay.
probably come on. She'll come on in just a minute because she should be landing just in a minute. But anyway, she this girl not only blessed me like mentally, physically, spiritually, she financially blessed me because Mother's Day, yeah, I wanted a car. My dream car was a Tesla. And my ex told me that I was struggling at the time because in 2022 2023 I lost my mom. So I quit my job and stuff to take care of my mom. And so my ex, you know, had to kind of take over some of the bills and, you know, be that person that be the breadwinner and stuff. So she said that I needed to get out of my car so my kids and I can have a safe car, which I was fine with that. But I wanted the car I wanted. I wanted a Tesla. And so I know, and they wasn't that expensive then because it was the older models, and that was my dream car. And so I had to end up getting a RAV4 because my ex was like, "No, I mean, I'm not getting a test for you." And I was like, "Well, they about the same amount of the price, you know, range, and blah blah blah, you know." And she was just like, "No, I'm not gonna get that one. If I'm gonna help you, you're gonna have to get, you know, this RAV4." Because she was with Toyota, she thought Toyota was good cars, and I get it, whatever she thought, but I wanted a Tesla, you know, and so. Tasha surprised me on my on Mother's Day. She bought me a house,
I'm
and
sorry. She bought you what?
on, on Mother's Day she bought me a house,
Oh, okay.
and she told me that it's mine. She built herself a man cave in the backyard and told me if anything happened, if I ever decide to leave her, she just gonna go to the man cave and the house is mine. She made sure everything was in my name. She bought me a house and told me it's mine. And then for my birthday, a little bit few days after, she she had me go to the Tesla store, and when I walked in, they said, "Stephanie, hey, you know, here's your keys. You know, she helped me build my credit because my credit wasn't great at the time. She helped me fix my credit. The car is in my name. Everything is in my name. Um, she ended up helping my kids. Me and my kids' relationship was going down because in my past relationships, they wasn't bonding with my ex. They loved her, but they had all kinds of it just wasn't bondage. And now my kids, my relationship with my kids is better, and my son, for my 15-year-old son to tell me, Mama, I'm proud of you.
Hmm.
And I said, for what? He was just like, because you deserve happiness. He was just like, we tired of seeing you hurt. We tired of seeing you take care of people, give your last to people, and now somebody is treating you. And it's sad when we don't even see that our kids, stuff we're doing, and just because we're trying to push love, find love, make love happen, our kids, they're suffering inside our relationships. And sometimes we don't see that. And I didn't see that. Or I didn't want to see it. I knew that relationship was toxic. I knew it wasn't right for me, but I stayed and I had my reasons, I guess. Um, and I'm not gonna say that it wasn't because I was scared to be alone, because I've been alone before. I've dated myself before. All God suggested, I've dated myself. I did all that stuff. It's just that for the first time in my life, I finally got somebody who loved me, my kids, and all of us unconditionally. And she put me first.
I have a question. So we've heard this incredible love story, but what is you've been together for a year now, you said about a year.
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay. What does your relationship look like on just a regular day? Without what is it like?
Well, we wake up we wake up in the morning and be like, I'm so happy I woke up next to you. I'm
Oh,
so happy I woke up next to you.
stop.
And and it's like we be all in the bed, like all up to I gotta get more in your skin. Now let me more in your skin, stuff like that. And we get up, we work together now. I'm gonna say my wife. She owns a company to where now I'm in the company. I'm working with her. She took me out of my job because I got diagnosed with sciatica. It's just where you have pain in your back, your lower bottom, and your legs. And I was working with autistic kids where I had to wrestle with. Y'all know how it is when you work with those type of kids. Sometimes you have to hold them. You have to, because they fight and different stuff like that. And I was coming home exhausted, tired. So she was just like, I need you to take a week off. And I said, girl, you ain't paying my bills. The ex don't left me now. She's don't move out now. She left me. And she was like, take off from work. And I didn't even know at the time that my future now, that she had anything. I didn't know what she had. It wasn't about money what made me fall in love with her. I didn't even know. She never told me. The time I found out is when I told her my ex was still there, and my ex was saying all this different stuff like, if you do this, you do that, I'ma leave. She was threatening me to leave and stuff like, and she was helping me pay the bills and stuff like that. And what she did, she went ahead and put everything, every bill I had, everything on her account and told me it's covered. Now, what are you waiting on? And I was like, nothing. I mean,
Oh man.
what am I waiting on? Nothing. Because y'all, I felt trapped. Me and my ex are friends. We're friends now. Um, she's family to us now. She's still gonna be a part of my kids' life, my life, and my wife now life. But at the time, it got a little ugly because that's when they start realizing that you're leaving, that you're really finna, you did a 360, that you no longer sitting on hope, that you no longer is wanting that love to work between yourself. Um, so it was just kind of like, it was weird, but Tasha put me in my soft girl era, and she let me know that I didn't have to struggle and do those things anymore. Because when my mom was sick, I was still Ubering, I was still trying to work, I was still doing whatever I could do to help pay those bills. At the time, we lived in Frisco, Texas. We had rent that was $3,000 and some dollars because we wanted to be bougie, and so I'm not bougie, y'all. I'm down to earth. I'm country. I like to take my shoes out, walk in the mud, the dirt. I don't care. But my ex was a little bougie. So and she just wanted us to have a better life, but I was paying about 1,200, 1,300, and I was Ubering. I was doing whatever to make that 1,200, $1,300, and she was the breadwinner. She had, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, Tasha took me out of that survival mode. And she told me, no, you are now to live in your soft girl era. You don't have, I said, but I don't have anything to give you. And she said, yes, you do. She's like, I don't give a damn about all that. You giving me more than what most people in my life has ever gave me. Even my own wife, my ex-wife. You have loved me more than she have loved me. You have treated me better than she have treated me. And for her to tell me that she wasn't kissing her ex-wife, they didn't kiss, I was like, what? She didn't kiss you? What the hell?
It's interesting how you can get into a relationship with someone else after you were in a relationship before, and they're like, and you can't believe the way that person treated the person that you were like. If I had the opportunity, I would have, done it so much differently. So I have another question. I have so many questions.
Ask away, and I'll check in with her just a second because she should be about landing in just a second.
Okay, I guess my main question is,
I know y'all curious to meet her, so
yeah, everyone is listening to your love story, and I guess, do you have advice for someone who wants this type of love, but they keep ending up in the same cycle of terrible relationships? What would you say to them?
okay, so I don't know if this is just advice, but I think for me, this is one of those like let it happen or let it manifest. And whatever you put out in the atmosphere, don't let anybody tell you that it can't happen. Because that's when I was doing it from 2025, you guys, I started saying stuff like, dear future wife, I'm just letting you know that I'm waiting over here. When you meet me, I'm going to cook for you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And my ex used to tell me, that is so weird. How you figure you're gonna get married in 2026 and and this and you had your family members, girl, you weird. And I just kept manifesting. On my page, you always see wedding 2026 loading. This is this and this and this is that. No matter what, I kept believing because when I gave that prayer, and I'm just gonna say, you guys, I don't know what y'all believe in, whatever high power, but I believe in God. And I prayed to God and I told him exactly what I wanted. And I left it there. I didn't ask again. I didn't do any of that. I just started speaking it into existence. I started saying stuff like, yeah, me and my new wife, we're gonna be going on trips and stuff like that. We're gonna be doing this, we're gonna do that. I just kept posting stuff and people kept saying, who is she talking about? Like, if she dating somebody, what is she doing? She weird. And I kept manifesting it and speaking it. They said, how they say, your tongue is the most powerful thing in the world. Your tongue is the most powerful thing in the world. And I believe if you speak it into the universe, it's going to come back. When you put into the universe, whatever you put into it is going to come back to you. I didn't know it was going to be like this. If I had known, I would have been praying and speaking this a long time ago. So sometimes we hold on to things that are not healthy or are not that we think is love, and I'm guilty of it. I tried to force love. I tried to tell people they need to love me, and I I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I know this may sound crazy, but I got a tattoo with my ex before that one to prove that I loved her. I even had a baby with her. She wanted a baby, and I had a baby for her to prove that I loved her. And it was like I was always trying to prove that I love somebody, and that I'm the woman, choose me, choose me.
Yeah.
When you having to work that hard and do all of these things, it's not meant to be. And I don't care what nobody say, it's not going to work. I don't care how they leave you, come back to you, it's not going to work. If I just say that, pray, put it into the universe, manifest it, believe in what you're speaking, because your tongue is powerful, and let it come to you. Because the first time in my life, I am happy. I can actually say that what I'm putting on Facebook is real. Like, I'm not just putting up this this little thing to say, oh my God, I'm just so happy. Me and my baby went on a vacation. Half them vacations y'all saw me on with my exes, we were fighting. We were arguing. I was getting, Amisha can tell you, she's been on some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting offered out. I was getting dragged. I was getting dragged. I was the baby mama, the this and this and that.
Hot and heated in the
That's my
corner, I was.
baby. She's
I think we have Tasha on,
hey
everybody.
Tasha.
So we get to talk to Tasha before we get up out of here. But Tasha, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for being here.
Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. It just went.
That's
Hey,
okay.
man, we're not gonna keep you long, but we had to see you, we had to meet you because we've been hearing so much about your beautiful love story, and I might need to talk to you. I might need to talk. Like, give me some tips. But yeah, man, we met briefly at the Mass Champ Bosses weekend, and I felt right away that you were someone who was like just exemplary character. You know what I mean? And so,
Thank
I've
you.
been hearing so much about you, and thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
You were traveling?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
all right.
just landed.
Yeah, so we've been talking to your beautiful fiance. Tell me, like, when you first saw her, like, what went through your mind when you first saw her in the club? Like, how did you know, like, this was someone you had to talk to?
Because she was like gorgeous, and I was like, "Oh, you're so gorgeous," and things like that. Like I don't
Yeah,
ever talk to people. I don't ever talk to people. Like I wouldn't talk to anybody like that. Like period.
but something about her just spoke to you, and you were like, I got to meet this woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. And do you feel like for you, outside of, obviously she was beautiful when you saw her, like, did you feel like some type of connection that was just like, there's something drawing me to this woman?
Yeah, it was like a lot. She was like, I think she played a little like she didn't want to talk to me at first, so it gave me a little more um, reason to continue.
I
Because
mean,
I'm definitely an overachiever.
yeah. Tell me about proposing to her.
I kind of knew that right off, and unfortunately, time is not always on everybody's side, so I didn't want to waste any more of my time that God has given me to be able to share it with somebody else.
Man, it's a beautiful. Congratulations to you both, man.
Thank
It's a
you.
beautiful story. And I've been blown away listening to it. Can you all tell me how can the chat like view that story that I watched on YouTube? Where can they find that?
Um, they can find it on any one of our sites. I can put it in the link so they can go see a story because we actually have a full she's actually getting you on the plane still? Okay. So she actually
Yeah.
has a full we have a full like engagement thing. We have a full engagement video. We have a full proposal video, so cute. And then we
Oh,
have, I'm riding on top of a car, so it's really nice. And then we are getting married in a castle with around surrounded by water.
of course.
Um, and
So
it's
very
gonna be the
excited
wedding
about
of the
that.
century. It's gonna be the wedding of the century, I promise. And then we have our story from from Facebook and stuff. I'll have to send y'all the links and stuff. I don't know. I guess I can put it in here so you guys can kind of see it.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we've been moved, and thank you for being an inspiration to everybody who's still searching for this. Um, and Tasha,
Yeah, I think
thank
it
you.
finds you. I don't think you search for it. I think it finds you.
It finds you.
Hmm.
That's beautiful. I think you're right. I think you're right.
Even when you're
Definitely.
not looking for it.
Yeah.
'Cause we were not looking for this.
No, no.
It just happened. It just happened. And I'm happy it happened because I wouldn't have met her, and that's my baby.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
definitely
you're
not.
down.
about to get on a flight. You're not getting off. You're about to get on it.
No, I'm getting
Oh,
off
you getting
one and
off?
about to get on
Okay.
another one. Yeah.
Oh
But
wow. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Safe
When I
travels,
tell you
man.
I get home, I try to get home ASAP.
For
At any
sure.
means necessary, I'm getting home.
Well, basically, she wasn't supposed to come home until tomorrow, but she's coming home so she can come home because I was like, okay. She drove 24 hours, y'all, and she's flying. She drove 24 hours to drop off a RV, and she's now she's flying back home.
Three
Just can't stay
flights, and
away.
we're taking 3 flights.
So she's taking
Wow.
3 flights so she can get home in the morning.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Like first
That's
thing in the
beautiful. Okay,
morning.
Misha shared the link. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, I just wanted everybody to experience what I experienced. I was just sitting in there crying. I don't even know you guys. But it was just so beautiful, man. And I thank y'all for sharing your story so much.
Right. And we just want we
We
want
love to
everybody
share.
to know that love exists and we're open the type of people we are. I don't know who you guys are or what y'all been through or go through, but the type of people we are, we're inviting. So that means that if you want to come into our world, I promise you we're genuine and we always loving on people. So we just want people around us to be loved on and everybody in our circle, whether it's a stud, a film, a straight or whatever, we all try to make sure that you feel love, you feel at home. And when you come to our place, you're at home. We tell you to kick off your shoes, open the refrigerator, get what you need, you're at home. We're always hosting stuff, we like to entertain. We like to bring people around to positive energy. We're not just clubbers or anything. We have our own backyard building. So if we want to do stuff, we do it in the
Wait,
backyard. But
no,
we
no,
bring
no, no, no,
we
no, no.
bring
Hold on. We don't have. I have a man cave in the back.
Okay. For sure.
y'all know what she says her man cave, but it seems like I'm in there more than her. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm in it more
but
than her.
we are like,
I mean, y'all can't stay away from each other, clearly. I mean,
No, and I
right.
heard somebody say I heard you guys when y'all said that it's healthy to like separate and like be apart and so you miss each other. I don't know about that, y'all. Like
But
I
this
feel
is
like
me
that's
right here because you see how fast I'm getting home. I've only been gone for not even
right.
2 days.
I feel like me, that's my best friend. Like that's my BFL. That's
Like,
my
yeah,
ex.
yeah,
And I feel like that when I feel like that we can go places and do things together. We have fun together. We like to kick it together. We like to sip and paint. We like to go to movies. We like to entertain. We always entertaining. We like to do stuff in the
and
backyard.
let me tell you guys how you know when your person is your person is that if you can stay in the same area, same home, everything with that person with nothing else is going on, and you love to do that. Like I think that's genuine and that's a good thing because I don't care if we got locked on lockdown like COVID again, I'll be just fine, and she would be just fine.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you enjoy each
Uh,
other. And she was saying she just feels so comfortable with you. She doesn't feel like self conscious in her body.
oh
She
yeah,
feels like you love her for her. It's a beautiful thing.
yeah. Same here, same here. Where we at? B21.
Listen,
Oh,
we're
sorry.
no, you're fine. Again, thank you for being here. We're gonna getting ready to wrap it up, but tonight we talked about being addicted to love. We talked about rushing in. We talked about feeling the need to be chosen. And then we heard a love story that seems to defy everything that we've been talking about tonight.
Well, hey, I love it. I love being loved. I love loving her. So
Uh,
it's an awesome feeling.
yeah, because I think it's not about how fast something moves; it's about how aligned it is. And clearly,
Right.
this is aligned. And you guys felt that from the very beginning. Um, so thank y'all again for sharing. And we're gonna get out of here tonight. But I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate all of you for sharing and being so vulnerable. Thank y'all for being on Unbuttoned.
You welcome.
I
Thank y'all
love
for
y'all.
bringing
See
this
y'all this
on.
Yeah.
weekend.
See y'all this week. Oh
All
yeah,
right. Y'all
yeah, me
have
too.
Good
fun.
night, y'all.
We gotta
Thanks
meet
for
all of
having us
y'all.
on.
All right, for sure. Thank you.
All right, you guys have a good night.